We are live. We are live, folks. We're live. Welcome to episode 4, Turn 20. So you see, we've got some rating going on.
Wait, hold up,
Wait,
HP.
what?
Something's not right here. This doesn't look
No,
like turn 20.
that doesn't look like Turn 20 at all. We didn't get our shit together by then. What turn is this? Dark, we'll
It's
check the script. What turn is this?
it's supposed to be turn 20.
It's Turn 22, Dark Wolf. What happened?
Well,
Fact.
let me check the files.
Alright,
I gotta check my
alright.
file transfers.
Okay.
No,
Nope.
I don't got a turn 20 or a 21. Just goes 19, 22, and then skips to 24?
Wasn't the bot sending you all the files?
Wait a minute, let me check the calendar. This is recorded in the calendar as being drizzle. Do you know what that means?
So the bot that we all play Dominions on, that is upkept by Drithel, was being updated to a newer version, and during that time, it stopped sending out files for some of the turns that it did during the changeover. So we have 3 missing turns that you're never going to see. And I really have to say, Drithel, as a paying customer of your Patreon.com account, this performance and this gap is unacceptable. I demand to speak to the manager of this Discord bot that you produce for free for us to play Dominions 5. I am very unsatisfied with your bot's performance, Drithel. Excuse me. Excuse me, Drithel. We need to talk. All right, I'm going to start recording again. Okay. Okay, people. It is turn 22. It's episode 4. So what did we miss? We, after a little more dancing and raiding, we finally got our shit together and have a real army down here. We stopped chasing these guys around. They ran away. And we've decided it is finally time for us to do the base race, the swap. This army's going to go down here. If they consolidate, we think we can take the fight. Look at all these mooch. Look at our
Moochin'
beautiful,
spirit.
beautiful buff blob that needs to be rescripted, advanced slightly in these turns. We finally got.
We got Alt 4.
We got Booty Ethereal here. We can make it
Pretty
happen.
ethereal.
We've
Best
gotta.
spell.
But if he doesn't, if he decides to come back up here, we're going straight for his cap. Because Krun God will defend our cap. This ends up with a different name. We've caught it in between renamings. We have our first Luz Dragono tyrant as a tertiary force, in addition to Krun God and our main army that can kill masses of enemy troops. We have this ready to come down and loot their fort. And we have gloriously Pow Pow swimming
What are you
men.
looking? Yeah, come on. They're Tritons. They got armor and they got poison barbs on their skin.
Yeah. The best purchase we've made in this game, by the way, including
Yeah.
all of our troops. Because these guys are just going
Hands
to run
down.
around and take provinces.
As turns go, definitely not the most interesting turn. Decisions setting the stage all happened here.
We now have a plan to actually bring this underwater fight to a close. And we now have a little more scouting to see a little more of the rest of the world.
Which will be an important point here because even though we do buy scouts, it's quite important that we are getting to the stage of the game that we need to know what's going on in the actual world.
Oh yeah, we
Because if we live here,
gotta... Okay. If we live here?
because
If
like
we
we
live
don't know. They can pull up some quickened water elementals and we die and that's it.
Yeah, but we'll beat those. I do have one more thing I've got to talk about, Dark Wolf.
Oh?
Our end of the turn, like transitions, they're always shit.
Alright, welcome back. And we are on turn 24.
24? What happened to turn 23? Drithel?
Yeah.
Drithel? You son of a bitch! Drithel! I
HP,
swear to
HP,
God! I
calm down,
swear.
HP.
What? What?
We've already dealt with this. We get it. You're
Drithel,
mad.
I
You've already
swear.
broke. And we'll do the exact same thing except you don't get mad.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna start again.
Hey, welcome to turn 24.
Yeah.
And as you can see, Here you can see some elite use of a Korrivekan army. And if you look at what they're fighting, it's just some PD.
And to give you some
Now,
map context, this is in the province right below our capital. Folks, they didn't know. They don't know. They didn't know about the Krun God. They've
they took the
taken the
bait.
swap.
And one other key thing here is they are clearly here with water elementals because all of their mages are loaded with 8 water gems.
Yeah, they've brought the artillery, but we've tested it.
That's 48 water gems.
And this guy, he's even got gym backups for him. They are locked and loaded.
And here you can see another reason to use scouts because we wouldn't know they had gem backups if they had them on a scout.
Dark Wolf, that's
Now,
stretching.
that's definitely true. It's not my fault they can't recruit them underwater, but the point is, if they use scouts, they'd know, or we wouldn't know, how many water gems they had in reserve. That's important information here for new players.
Dark Wolf,
I'm trying to help the lesser player.
Dark Wolf, it's fine. It's fine. Dark Wolf.
No, it's not. No HP.
It's fine.
My throat hurts. I can barely speak. I'm sick, and I have to deal with people not recruiting scouts.
You know, we all have our problems in this world.
Anyway,
Speaking of problems, they
They
got a
have
problem.
one.
Because we have no longer rooting for Psy. Now, piano in the voice chat. I don't.
I don't know. Do you know anyone that plays piano in a voice chat?
Not a single one. I hope.
Really?
Really. You son of a bitch! Dark Wolf, I told you about the piano. I don't. But let's look at some of our buffs we've got on this boy. We've got our Iron Skin from himself. We've got our Regen from a Melia casting it with her teaching sign and another gem. We have Body Ethereal from a bullied mage. We have Moss Body from that same Melia. I don't know if we've got some Earth Power Reinvig. We might not have that research yet. But,
We don't have that researched yet.
We
The
have
point is,
Temper Flesh from
Okay.
him.
HP keeps interrupting me. Awful partner.
Really?
Yeah. What I was gonna say
You
is the
could do
point
better,
is
but you could do
no,
worse.
you could do better. You could do better. The point is, like, look, you don't even have colored tiles on.
Oh, fuck. Wait, hold
It's
on.
C. It's the C key. It's the C key.
Oh, shit.
There you go.
Oh, no. Our series is
Look at
ruined.
this.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's what I thought. The point is, with that chest plate on and that buff cycle and Moss Body, it's going to be a very difficult process of killing the Lustragono because you need at least 37, or not 37, you need 37 damage, not counting the Temper Flesh, to pop the Moss Body. So in practice, that'll be at least 70 damage on average to pop them to break through its protection and Moss Body protection together. Not counting the fact that it is regen and ethereal, so water elementals are practically useless, and then gets an additional 4 nat prop from Berserker to bring it up to 31. So it's just with the buffs layered on it that normally can't be given on Lustragonian Tyrants because of the nation that they are on, which is Phlegra. It just lets it become an absolute menace to deal with.
But I know that you're not here for Titan Tech. I know what you're here for. What is our army doing near their capital? What is our force doing? We have for you another cap fight. Not our cap, but their cap. And they've learned the ways of the province defense because they've pumped theirs up to the 9. They're bringing out the water elementals, and they're bringing out what Knights of the Deep they have recruited. Why didn't this guy have water? So they've got this force. The water gems, except for you. They've got the Knights of the Deep. They've got the
Maybe it's
PD,
just a special caster that doesn't know how to cast water
got a
elemental.
little bit of prevention for rear sniping. And over here, we'll talk about our script a little bit before we head in. Is here we have a sweaty buff blob with
It's
some
really sweaty, dude.
really sweaty with the. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all that needs to be said here.
But we've got all sorts of buffs we're going to bring down on these guys. We've got some catchers for the attack rear, some baits for the rear, and a squad to actually beat up an attack rear because we've got a battlefield-wide blessing. We've got some more bait over here to eat lances while these guys take a million buffs. Let's get this party started with.
Yeah. Now, the buffs we're going for are specifically Moss Body, which is a very strong buff, and
Body
then
Ethereal,
Body
Regen,
Ethereal, Regen, and Quickness.
and I think we might
Those
have
are the
a.
main four.
I don't remember if we get a
Oh, and I think we did some
giant
luck.
strength. Yeah, we get some luck down on there. That guy's just moss bodied. We do a pretty good job of painting him on.
The central ones definitely got the most of the buffs.
And our mages are continuing to put buffs on. Unfortunately, our lance catchers do not catch the lances, so that's going to be a problem. But we do catch them on the side, so we're not going to be flying. We just
And then it's just... You can see the water elementals coming in hordes on the right side.
Yeah. And getting caught up. Some Fizzmost guys. This is the disgusting thing. If anyone doesn't know what Fizzmoss is by now, if you have physical resist, they apply before Moss Body. So the damage is halved, and then it's reduced again. So the Moss Body is very hard to break, even for these disgusting armor-piercing, high-strength water elemental attacks. And so this little squad can catch a bunch of water elementals, while this squad mops up their PD. We didn't exactly plan for that to happen, but it's something that can happen, and pretty instrumental. Also, our mages were closer to the fight and on advance and cast than their mages, who are sitting back here firing Cold Bolt or some shit.
Yeah,
Extreme
no,
range,
Geyser.
Where it
That's Geyser.
Geyser, where it does very little.
Yeah, Advance and Cast is very good, especially with Lucid spell mod, because your mages will roll up and cast stuff like Water Strike, which is actually good.
Yeah.
Now, another interesting bit of the battle is you see another benefit of Berserker,
We rout,
and that
and Berserker
yeah.
bails us out, because otherwise, this little defense of his would have kept its PD and taken us off the board. But since we do have Berserker, we clean up the mage stacks. The water elementals have no leadership and die.
and you just finish them off.
And bada bing, bada boom!
We took the cap.
We took the cap. He has no forts. He has no income. We raid here. Bam.
And you may say, oh, what are you going to do after this? What if they bring up something of equal strength? Well, if you look to the top left of their cap, I got a statement loaded with gems.
Dark Wolf has some fake news about his username. The underwater fight in the space of 2 or 3 turns has turned to our favor, though we did have to do a little bit of work to set it up in the missing turns. And he's got 2 options here. Either go onto our cap, accept the base race, and just say, hey, I've got Knights of the Deep, I've got water elementals this time, we can win it. And we hope he does that, because he can't win it. He doesn't know.
He should know, but he doesn't.
He could know. If he'd pinged us, maybe he'd have a better idea. But now he's under pressure, because he has no money and we do.
Hey, that's
Or
a song.
He can make his way back, possibly free this fort, and try to make his way back, all the way back to the capital, free it from us. But that wastes a lot of time on his part, and it gives us a lot of space on our part. So he may not do it. But he's in a jam,
So,
and he's in a jam because he didn't think about the implications of us jumping past him. Or he overestimated his own defensive ability.
and I was gonna say, and this is like the importance of like, even if you don't kill an army, this is the power of raiding or just maneuvering correctly, and it's part of what makes nations like Pangea so oppressive in matchups is even if you don't win the fights, if you can choose where the fights are to like force a win, or to not even have to fight to win a battle or a war, then it's just a really momentous advantage. And we did it with one province moving. So you can imagine what it's possible to do with like moving two provinces at once while stealthy.
One more thing before we roll. This shit's still Indies. What the fuck?
Like, come on.
Sea Dogs? Maybe Indies took that from someone. Bear Tribe? What is this? What's going
What's
on over
happening?
here? The shit. Like, this makes sense. 18 income, barbarians. Take us a long time to get there. We got it totally isolated. This? Fuck. Yeah, take this with a ham sandwich.
Like, shit. We could take this if we weren't at war.
Right. We probably should have just done this.
Yeah. Hindsight.
Cheeky
We were like
piece
playing
of shit.
strategically.
But no, we didn't.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
I guess the only other thing worth noting is if you go look on the west, the fall of Donger is upon us. It's not looking good for them. Under pressure.
You
You know that
know,
song.
I think maybe they need to take their own advice.
It was a dark day in Enkyriakos.
For the second annual Grippa Bowl! Alright, folks. What do we have today lined up on the offensive line? We have a massive amount of Knights of the Deep. We have a
45!
Sea King who's holding all the spare gems. Hope he doesn't die or the enemy does. We have an entire offensive line of mages. We have two Daduka Dorks? What? Oh, they're Marilys. They renamed it. I don't.
Marylanders?
3 Heralds of the Deep all set up.
Four.
No, 4.
Four.
4.
You can't count.
Set
Got
up
hit
to
too
do
many
water
times playing
elementals.
Grippa Ball.
And we've got a bunch of crap. And on our side, we have things that don't matter and our Lord and Savior, Krun God Supremo, buffed to the absolute nines with the best buffs we have to offer. Why the fuck is he casting Destruction?
Yeah, why aren't you casting Destruction?
Why are you? But
Dude,
we're
look
not
at
going to
this
shout
stat.
past the rest of this episode
Yeah,
because
look at those stats though before we, because like it's a thing of beauty. Look at that 38 protection with Moss Body
38 prot with Moss Body. He's an innate
and
caster.
Temper Flesh.
A Temper Flesh. He's got his Fizz Moss up. He is susceptible to shock, but I don't think that matters. He's got
No,
all this disgusting thing, and Fists of Iron is working exactly like it's supposed to.
Strength of Giants on your Beetle of the Sun is a legitimate strategy, and whoever tells you otherwise is wrong.
He's got taking a little bit of chip, but just they didn't know. They just didn't know, and we knew.
But look at the bright side. They got the one benefit from larger they could ever get, which means this video is going to be another 5 minutes longer for everyone, as it takes longer for him to kill them.
You're a savage, Dark Wolf.
Hey, it's not my fault they're bad at choosing of less.
But we're gonna turn up the speed. This is this is the kind of gross things you could do with a big hunk of brick on your capital. You could just
and there was nothing with the tools they had that could have worked. Quickened Knights, quickened Water Elementals.
Yeah.
Like none of that worked.
The only lesson here is, for God's sake, ping. Ping your enemy's massive forces before you gamble with a huge stack, because this is just even
Especially
if he
when
wins
you can
here.
guess there's an inanimate.
You haven't seen the end of the battle. So even if he manages to kill this, his force is just decimated. He's not going to have any knights left. And now we get to the even more tedious parts of the battle, because these guys on cast, not advanced cast, are going to be spamming forth the Phantasmal Warriors. Oh, and there they go, the route. That's sad. This is a free fucking army, and basically the war. For the cost of, what, we had maybe a gem on one of these? Maybe? And one
No,
Bullied
no,
Mage?
no gems were involved. It was
No
literally just a
gems?
mage.
No gems?
Yeah,
We
we didn't need to spend them.
knocked out an absurd
Oh, and
value.
48 water gems.
An absurd value of gold and gems on his side, and that's the war, folks.
Yeah. GG's. Send
GG.
GG's over to General Confusion's episodes of the series.
Darkwolf, I think you trolling.
He vowed even if they lost, they'd put up the series,
Look, Darkwolf,
but
we
they
gotta
haven't put
cut
it up.
this. For the rest of this war, all he has in terms of mobile forces is these guys, the remains of that army, and they'll be able to gem up. But they can't kick us off his capital, so that's probably dead. Shame. They can't kill this guy, most likely. He's regrouped with his support and grabbed some gems. He's got basically nothing, and if we just move this piano in the VC, correctly named now, back onto his fort, we've locked him out and locked up the water war entirely. And we can actually start zooming out to the wider world of Dominion. Finally have some scouts in operation. We can start to see a Pin Pappy Elshoes conflict. We can start to see this Donger conflict. This is just a ping. It doesn't... We'll get to this shit later. But we can start to see more of the Donger Grippa conflict with this mysterious Zan figure has been making lots of red arrows on Grippa's behalf. Oh, what's this? What's this? Is that our scout? Sieging a Donger fort? Once again, bravery defeats cowardice. Grippa, coward, moved off the fort. Vinland, coward, didn't move on. Dongerland, coward, didn't break siege. And so our ping here, that was just meant to see what Grippa had.
Oh, I'm back.
Oh. Shit, I did a whole thing.
I know, it's okay. We could keep it. I don't know if it was funny.
Oh, okay. It
I
wasn't funny, but
texted
it
you
was...
phone call.
You piece of shit.
What do you mean, piece of shit?
This is the good part. I was talking about the scout. I was in a rant.
Oh,
our scout
are
took
you
the
talking
fort.
about how people are bad at the game?
Darkwolf, you hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry. Okay, guys, let me break it down to you for HP. Our scout took a fort, and now they're probably gonna just ping it off. Okay, we're prepared for it. We've scripted retreat. Right. Like realistically, that's just probably one of them forgetting to siege it, or they all picked the other one because nobody's gonna let us keep a land fort because they're not stupid.
Yeah, and I
so
mean,
it should be fine.
But we're gonna leave them there. We want to see what they push us off, and we want to
exactly.
Is Vinlande gonna push us off? Is Grippa gonna push us off? You know,
and because depending on who it is, that could show like, oh, they're gonna attack us right now. Because like you don't want the water nation to keep the land.
And we do have to worry because this guy here, building a palisade with only 11 PD, might
we're
lose
risk takers here. We're risk takers at HP Productions.
Risk takers. Look at this unclaimed throne.
Yeah, we need to claim that at some point.
But you know what? They haven't claimed this either.
Yeah. Or the Sea Dogs.
The Sea Dog. We don't know what's going on over here, but there's got to be some real shit going down when Glamour Cavalry just let Sea Dogs sit around with free land.
Literal free land.
So we know some serious shit is going on.
It's kind of funny. Like we had our violent war, and everyone's still having theirs.
And I think in the first decent transition of this entire series, we'll go to next turn and talk about the events of the wide world that we have now broken our way into. The last hurrah of Koreveken. The force retreating from the cap zigged when we thought it would zag. And we have one turn of cap recruit, casting not a whole lot, against what's left of their water elemental core. And in last final vengeance, they attack rear snipe us. But we do get to see exactly what they have left. And they're conserving their W, which is good. They've got to get this force back somehow.
Honestly, it's over for them. Like, I
Yep.
don't even know why we're talking about that fight. Like, it's sad, but like, oh well.
Well,
Also, Bay of Blood, the end of its saga.
the end of the saga of Bay of Blood. Because we finally bring enough shit and buff it enough to put paid to these bastards. And forevermore, the Bay of Blood shall be ours.
That's that.
That's that.
But while this is the end of the saga of Corey Becken, we need to concern ourselves with the world itself now, because this whole time we've been like microscoping in on the water and our only opponent, and now we got to pay attention to all these other players in the world because we practically wrapped this up.
And we see a Grippa Bowl involving Grippa, but not in a manner you might think. Grippa is actually attacking, and Zan, allegedly, reportedly Zan.
If we're honest, Zan probably is the one doing the attacking. Grippa only does defense.
Yeah, but we don't. I'm still not entirely sure Zan is a real person who exists.
Good point. We haven't seen any confirmed footage of him.
As we see, to remind you, are strength and resist buffed elves against some truly meme buffed Anakites.
Regen, larger fate weaving blood surge Hedora,
Yeah.
and then attack skill for some reason.
And these guys are strength of gianted even more. And the Anakites don't last long because they only have 16 prot, regardless of all their meme stuff. And these elves do 28 fucking damage with a magic weapon.
We got chonked.
They get chonked. They go attack rear into a 31 damage stick. These guys are strength of giants as well. And things end up badly. End up badly for the Donger side here. We can fast forward to
kind of good there. I guess the most important thing will have to be seen on a restart of this battle.
That was an awkward way to put it.
Look at that gear.
Yeah, he's got a GSS. Man, if you had this guy scripted to attack closest after these elves hit, he could do some work.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's gonna do though.
Oh, he gets hit by Strength of Giants?
Yeah, fuck yeah, you want him to get hit by Strength of Giants. Got his GSS. Bam.
Yeah. Dude,
Oh,
he's
look
ready.
at that. This is 42
Look at that
fucking
damage.
AP damage. That's disgusting.
21 attack skill?
Yeah. Oh, he's going. Oh, he's going for the profit.
He's killing it. All 42 damage.
He's killing it.
It's dead. It's
Ah! Nope. Nope.
Not today.
Not today. Oh, jeez. You know, as rude as we are to General Confusion and Ball and Stalin, naming this guy Ball and Stalin is ruder than anything we could have done. I swear, at this point, they're intentionally killing him.
You know, you might not be wrong. Suicided him into the back.
But from that, we can see that Gripazan is being pretty competent, and Dongerland is, you know, pretty dead. Lucid,
Yeah,
free land, getting land out of a 3v1. I see you. We see you, vulture as shit. We see you because we finally have scouts.
Yeah. We have scouts. And we do see some other interesting facets of the world. That's the western border. The Empire of Grippa's forming, as well as the city-state of Marilande.
Vinlande. There's a Vinistar involved in this as well.
Oh, poor soul. Okay, anyway.
It's like they got a fucking free citadel from some shit.
Yeah, what is this bullshit? Why don't we get a free citadel?
Well, we're about to get a free palisade.
Nah, they're going to take it back. They're not stupid.
Yeah, you're right.
Well,
either one of these forts could move on it. Yeah. We can't, Listen, this guy's
Like
still
this.
set on retreat. Like, anyone who moves on it can take it, you know? It's
Yeah.
just a scout. We're gonna see what they have. They haven't even diploed us. They haven't even asked us for it back. I mean, we haven't been
Yeah.
diploing, but
So presumably they're just going to take it because
yeah.
like Marilande, why would he let us sit here on the coast at this
Right.
stage?
Grippa's he doesn't even have this to worry about anymore. He can just move this stack back and then bing bang boom, 2 forts.
Yeah. He could
But we
probably
see
diplo us
something in
afterwards.
the north south of our empire.
North south, is that our new direction that HP's invented? You going to send that to the
Yeah, because they're
military?
to the north and to the south. Because this is a wraparound map. We got the north south. The geese. The goose god.
The laughing Anunnaki.
He has a free vine shield, which is why they've thugged him to the nines with low-level gear. Like, about 50% of this stuff is completely unnecessary. You don't need that. You don't need fucking that at this point. You don't need this shit.
You probably don't need the helmet. You literally
Yeah.
you can just keep like the shield and maybe the chest piece and you're good.
Yeah, but they've thugged him to the nines anyway, whatever, it's fun. He's gonna spawn some goats and he's gonna come in, try to steal this province back from the protagonists of Dominion, Bogus the Troll and his adventuring party, based on Illwinter's Dungeons and Dragons or something sessions.
Fun fact, there is no women in this party. Tells you a lot about the people that play Dominions, huh?
But there is a femboy knight.
Oh, that is true.
But
Very much so.
what
Let
we
me
could
just
tell from this guy is we can see the Goose Bless over here. They've got FSR. The precision is definitely from a throne. This guy has no path for it. And regeneration, which they're going to put on their big fat men, their big fat Agarthans, and the Diones. And they're going to roll around with that, and with it on their god, and they're going to drop, and their Ryujin, and they're going to have lots of fun with that.
yeah.
It's not the worst
Lots and
bless
lots
in
of
this
fun.
game, but it
Hopefully
is
not.
also not the best bless in this game, and it's not a bless that's intimidating for us, because we have lots and lots of high damage.
Bonk.
You like
We
the
have
animation?
bonk. The animation's great. He's like, let there be geese.
Let there be geese. Ooh, he's getting vine shielded. This is a good sword, but a goose with a stingat does a lot more
And
damage.
a helmet?
And a
How
hat.
does it wear that helmet?
Very carefully.
Okay.
But this bless is not super intimidating to us.
No.
We can beat them without fire or shock, and we can chop them down before the regeneration happens because we can just put Strength of Giants on our high quality attack.
And we're eyeing them, honestly, because they're the only
Yeah.
people that could effectively counterattack our water.
Right.
And, like, they
This-
don't have much land.
Look at this delicious pond.
Yeah, more water provinces is always nice.
And this delicious throne.
All right, why do you make
These-
delicious sound so disgusting?
I'm sorry.
Thank
They've
you.
finally taken the Sea Dogs.
Because they're a dog.
Mammon
I've always
has
wanted to
has moved on this throne, wiped it, moved on these guys, wiped them, and what is this? Pinpappy has
Pan Pappy.
finally taken the Sea Dogs with a singleton Earth Reader. We see Pinpappy and Elshoes. Pinpappy is finally storming this fort down from Elshoes, so we're going to get to see their blesses in this fight. We've got our Morvark Bless, larger on a unit that actually wants it, and some boring resists and stats, mainly resists,
And attack skill.
and attack skill.
They can repel. And they're size 4, and it's got like 22 attack skill. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But these 1 a square, it's fine for them to be 1 a square because their Fiery Breath hits the entire square. So they won't have a problem clearing squares. And you want them to have a lot of space on the battlefield that will allow them to develop a line better. Now, by way of cheats, due to these guys being based on EATC, their province defense has this little guy, so we get to see their little bless for their
Hell
disguised
hurting
secret
for
elf
reference.
cavalry, which is basically identical, except for it doesn't have larger. It's just an elf stat bless with some stuff.
It's the lazy bless.
Yeah,
It's a bless
they've
you
got
turn off
magic
your brain, you
weapons.
grab, and you'll get value.
It's kind of a later game bless on both of these, are more tilted toward the later game. Morvarks, that makes sense because they don't need any help in the later game, in the early game.
I'd have kind of wanted something more aggressive on the Hell Herdings just because a lot of the nations in this game have very strong early game sacreds.
Yeah, but we don't really know what exactly their plan was. We haven't kept
Yeah.
watch of this. But these blesses don't really matter for this war because, like, in the first place, you don't want to be running sacred cavalry just into the enemy's sacred cavalry, especially when your Hell Herdings are stealth.
Don't want to run your Hell Herdings into enemy stacks, which you'll see because of the tyrants and stuff.
So
And
we
the
could
helots.
safely say for that the Pinpappy Elfshoes war is going slightly in Pinpappy's favor. Not totally, because the elves being stealthy can raid him. Taking a
So
fort
presumably he's raiding all the other stuff.
is good for the side that can't raid as effectively.
While we mob up Korvakin, we're going to see what probably the primary proponents of an attack would probably be any of the three western and southern neighbors.
Right.
Mammon, I don't think we really want to fight, though we're willing to if we need to.
We need
sure.
to get more scouts in this direction, and if they are weak, which I doubt because they cleared this coast, if they are weak, then we can eat them. Honestly, Arbuckle, Goose, Hui is going to be the most tempting target because they're to our north-south, and they have delicious water for us to get. Grippa?
And we don't want a reunion problem to go out of control.
Yeah. Grippa? It's kind of a bum attack, but we can take their stuff maybe.
Like, we don't get a good border with them.
Then Vinlande.
We just wouldn't get too much benefit fort-wise. Like, we have no water to gain, and they're not very big, so they're not a threat at all.
Yeah,
We're kinda
Vinlande
happy
might be a
with them
decent
actually.
attack, but it's not a huge
Yeah.
priority.
Like, if we don't go for the ducks, then it's between Grippa and Merlande, and that's pretty even. So the
That's-
ducks are definitely the most tempting at the moment.
And sometime in that miasma of missing turns, we have finally started doing just a little tad of site searching.
No, we haven't.
What?
We haven't yet.
Yeah, grabbing up some.
Oh, yeah, up here, I guess.
Yeah, some of these
What's that?
little sites. I gotta say, we
lack
didn't
of
mention
venom
it,
from this one.
but this is a
gonna be horrific.
tragedy. This scout
Oh, yeah.
province has some hidden unrest site that I don't think we ever find in the game.
We never do.
We never find it. Probably a blood site that pumps the unrest and makes it useless. So we are back down to one scout province.
It's so awful. Actually awful.
Uh,
I think Lucid set us up.
think he set us up? Think he
I think
lucid
because
rigged
he
the
hates
map?
scouts. Because he hates scouts, he rigged the map where we get very few sites, and that we don't get as many scouts.
I'm gonna cut that
That's my
Alex
blame.
Jones shit.
Everybody go to his videos, come comment down below, rigged map.
That's enough. No. You cut it off. Stop it. Stop the
He
video.
also made the mooch
Stop the
gay.
video.